Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Throwaway Didn't Do It. My 23 female boyfriend, 25 male of 3 years, says he knows I cheated on him while doing study abroad, but I didn't. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. We are long distance. We're from the same hometown, but he goes to school in another state, so we see each other over summer and most holidays. This past summer, I did study abroad in Peru for 2 months. It was one of the most amazing experiences, and I had so much fun. I didn't have a phone or regular internet, so I communicated via email every couple of days. I told my boyfriend this would be the case before leaving, and he said it was okay. When I got back, he was excited to see me, and I was excited to see him, but I was very tired and honestly fell asleep within minutes of first seeing him. I'd literally gotten off the plane just an hour before. When I woke up, he seemed pissed. I asked what was up and he just started asking how my trip was. I told him it was fun, told him about my friends, etc. Then, all of a sudden, he says, "I know you cheated on me." At this point, I'm confused. I just said, "What?" And he said, "I know you did. It's okay, it's whatever." Well, I didn't cheat on him. There were only 4 other guys on the trip. 2 had girlfriends, 1 was absolutely gay, and the only single straight one was hooking up with this other girl the whole time. I told him this and he just kept saying he knew I cheated on him. I asked people on the trip and nobody said anything to him. They're all just as confused as me. I asked my boyfriend why he thinks I did and he said, "I just know." The weird thing is that he's saying he's okay with it but still keeps bringing it up that I cheated on him. It's pissing me off because I didn't. I had a lot of opportunities and never even got close to taking them. I told him the only guy I did anything close with was my gay friend, and all we did was dance at a club together. He started saying, "Well, I don't know if it was one of your friends or a local." What the hell, dude? I don't know what to do. He just keeps saying I cheated but I didn't. He also says he doesn't care but brings it up. I can't figure out how to convince him otherwise aside from the phase this is a totally ridiculous idea he has anyway. We had literally no time to even talk to local people there enough to hook up with them because we were busy every day and all day doing things. Is this breakup worthy? I love him, but I have no idea why he'd be doing this. Well, P, this is incredibly weird. I mean, unless he has evidence, how can he know that you cheated? Maybe he has some sort of stupid gut feeling that he thinks you cheated, but he actually doesn't really know and is convincing himself that you did and that it's okay for some stupid reason. I'm honestly a bit confused myself as to why you are not absolutely pissed at him, because you're saying it's starting to piss you off, but I would have been pissed right away the moment he accuses me of something that I know I didn't do and that I know it's horrible, especially with that catch-all argument of, "I just know." What the F, man? Now, one possibility is that he's the one that cheated on you, is projecting it on you, and saying that it doesn't matter if you did to kind of give himself an out? I don't know, it's the most stupid logic, but it's as far-fetched as I can go. In my opinion, an unfounded accusation like this could definitely lead to breakup. I'm just wondering, how do you get back from this one? I mean, again, he has absolutely no proof, but is accusing you because he knows. So let's say he takes it back, says no, he was wrong. So what happens now? The cat's out of the bag, the accusation was there, he did it for a reason, but he won't share what it is. I don't know, OP. To me this seems like damage has been done. And what do you guys think? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Tenebrous One says, "My guess is he is very insecure, that he has heard or read all the horror stories of couples going abroad and cheating on their significant other the whole time, and he is projecting that insecurity on this situation. My advice to you would be this. Tell him that you find it very hurtful that he has accused you of cheating and that he doesn't trust you enough to take you at your word. Tell him that now is the time to ask all questions that he has, and that if after the discussion he still thinks you cheated, that you will be taking time to reevaluate if you want to continue to be in this relationship." Something tells me that he is just worried that you did and was trying to get you to confess to cheating by claiming that he somehow knew you did from some mysterious source. But in reality, you never did, so this immature scheme won't work. I am almost willing to bet that is what he's doing. This also sounds like some stupid advice a group of guys would come up with. So he probably got a lot of crap from his friends while you were gone that you were banging half the guys in Peru while you were there. And Dopey responds, thanks, I think this is a possibility too. He is usually kind of insecure. I'm going to bring this up to him and get to the bottom of it, be it that he's insecure or cheating or whatever. Floomby says, it is very, very wrong to tell another person what they are thinking or feeling. It's akin to negating that person's voice. Your boyfriend is not even interacting with the real you. He's interacting with his imaginary version of you and refuses to listen to you when you try to bring him back to reality. That's why I would recommend that you break up, regardless of whether he is cheating and projecting or gaslighting or getting back at you for going abroad and having fun or simply under the sway of his delusions and insecurities makes no difference. It's all bad. You cannot have a relationship with somebody who refuses to see the real you. And Opie responds, quote, getting back at you for having fun, end quote. Damn, never considered this. Mrs. Patrick Sharp says, ask your boyfriend for the evidence he has to support his claim. I honestly think he cheated on you and is projecting his cheating onto you in hopes you'll confess so he can break up with you and not tell you he cheated and avoid being a giant a-hole for cheating. And Opie responds, honestly, I've been wondering this myself. Maybe he's saying he doesn't care and he's gonna drop the bomb that he did and hope I don't care. The only thing is that, I can't imagine how he'd cheat. He has no female friends, and neither do any of his male friends. He's kind of weird and nerdy. Additional information from OP's comments. He fell asleep with me, so I don't think he snooped. I'm pretty sure he was just mad that I had fallen asleep instead of, sitting up and talking with him or whatever. I was just so tired. It is possible he woke up and snooped, and maybe I did wake up, but I didn't even bring my phone with me, so anything on my phone or computer is before I even left. I am gonna double check to see if there's anything funny in my messages though. However, it still bugs the absolute crap out of me that he thinks I cheated. I find it really offensive, really? Do you think I'm away for 2 months and I'm just gonna F some dude? I don't think I'll ever be okay if he continues to think this, because it's just who do you think I am? Also, he always says, I just know. Whenever we have any arguments, honestly, without having any proof, he just knows. Ugh. He always believes he's right, and the only way he'll stop arguing is if he gets tired of doing it, basically. And if he is saying he knows I did but forgives me as a way to get out of cheating, then lol, because that won't work at all. Also, if he's only saying this to test the waters in case I did something, which is childish, why would he say it so many times? I don't know why he'd ever think I'd cheat. We've never had issues anywhere close to this. I don't know what's gonna happen. If he's always going to assume I cheated and he's okay with it, even if I did not cheat while I was gone, then he might just decide that if he's in a situation where he can cheat, then it's okay because he's assuming I did. I don't know. I'm just gonna talk to him soon. This is all bothering me so much. Opie's edit. Thank you so much to all who commented. Definitely a lot to think about. I'm going to reply to some people and confront my boyfriend later tonight. Alright, well the community had some pretty good theories as to what is going on, which is absolutely weird, and OP seems to think all of them are plausible and is going to confront her boyfriend. So let's move on to the update and see how that went. Okay, so it's been 2 months since my original post and I want to thank everyone for all the advice. I really appreciate that so many people cared to give their ideas. A lot of people thought he was cheating, but some suggested he was just insecure. Anyway, last night I asked him to come over. When it first happened, 2 months ago, after enough times he kept accusing me, I said, listen, you're pissing me off. Stop saying that I did something I didn't do. And he just said, okay, sorry, but then proceeded to occasionally bring it up. Also, I said that we are long distance, kind of. He goes to school in another state, but he's been here the past few days due to family issues. So when he was over, I asked him why he feels so strongly I cheated, and at first he tried to brush it off. I kept pressing him and finally he said, I just don't feel like you could go somewhere like that with a bunch of guys and nothing would happen. I told him, well, you go to Florida for school with a bunch of girls, so are you saying that you don't think I could do it because you've done something? Well, he flew off the handle and freaked out, started yelling that he was so pissed I'd even think to accuse him of cheating, that he never had and never will, that I knew about any time a girl came on to him too strong because he'd tell me about it, which is true. I just sat there and watched him and then finally asked, well, how is it ridiculous for me to ask you that, but you think it's ridiculous that I even argue that I never cheated? He just says, he knows me and he knows what I do. Finally, I just got pissed and said that if he can't trust me and thinks so lowly of me, we probably shouldn't be together. He started going off saying, see, I knew you cheated on me. I got fed up with the crazy and told him to go. He asked if I was breaking up with him and I said no. I said no because I figured if I said yes, he wouldn't leave. But I felt pretty sure that's what I wanted to do. After he left, I called up his brother, who I am somewhat close to, and told him the story. He was surprised by how crazy he was, but also told me that my boyfriend's last girlfriend, his first, had cheated on him, so he probably just thinks that of everyone now. He told me that my boyfriend has some massive anger issues, and he's been known to get physical with people or objects when angry. He also told me about a bunch of other crazy things my boyfriend has done, including running away from home as a 20-year-old when he didn't get his way, cussing out his mom and telling her to die when she took his brother's side over a petty argument, etc. Some other minor things were that my boyfriend has apparently stated he never wants to move out of his parents' house and continue to make YouTube videos for the rest of his life. That and how stupid my boyfriend acted towards me over me doing literally nothing made me decide I wanted to end it. I called up my boyfriend and told him it was over. I'm pretty sad about it. I do love him, but I don't want to deal with a crazy douche. Plus, it's pretty lame we've been together for 3 years and he still thinks he wants to live with his parents forever. I've asked a million times what he wants to do when he's out of college. He just says, I don't know. Now, I don't know what I'm doing either. It's just that when I ask him if we are going to live together after college, which is what keeps us long distance, he always seems unsure. But then hearing that he just wants to live with his parents forever? Nope. OP's edit. People are asking how I never noticed these red flags earlier. I kind of did but wasn't sure. We were long distance, which I think often left me confused. A lot of times I'd wonder if his actions were just because we were far apart. I've seen some of his quirky personality traits, but I'm kind of weird and I like kind of weird people. There have not been a lot of extended periods of time of me just being around him a lot, so maybe he's just good at hiding stuff until I'm not there. Hearing his brother say those things just confirmed that's not the case. Like, the running away from home at 20 thing was hilarious to me. His brother and I both laughed. I mean, if you're 20, you don't need to run away from home. You're an adult. Anyway, I'm sure he's gonna go around telling people I'm a cheater. The good thing is none of his friends really matter to me and our friend groups don't collide. Everyone knows that I'm a really nice person who wouldn't just cheat on my boyfriend with some random dude, so even if he tells people, I don't really care. So, to sum it up, we did end it, but as I stated, I never cheated. Yes, there were opportunities to get involved in situations, I just never did, never thought of it. Just because I recognized some situations as moments where it could happen doesn't mean I'd do anything. Thank you everyone for the comments and help. Alright OP, well, bullet dodged, good for you. This guy, yikes. I mean, his logic was so ridiculous and had so many holes in it, you could probably use it to strain spaghetti. So good for you for getting out of that one. Anyways OP, all the best in the future and thank you so much for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user TechNos. 3 plus 3 plus 1.5 equals all you're getting is a half hour tops. Years ago, one of my employer's clients decided to set up a new office in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I got chosen to spend 3 weeks there getting the new space set up. Also chosen for the job was a guy from another division's Chicago office, Dave. I'd never worked with Dave before, but from the start, I didn't like him much. He was never less than 15 minutes late, he lumbered like a zombie, and I caught him dozing off more than a few times during the first week on site. Still, he was the closest thing I had to a friend in Fort Wayne, so I invited him out to the bar on Friday for all the company-funded booze we could drink. I wish, he says, I'm going home and passing out until Monday. The commute has been killing me. Wait, what? It seems Dave's boss has been a douche, and instead of paying for a plane ticket, hotel, and rental car like my boss had, he'd instructed Dave to drive from Chicago, almost 3 hours away. I tell him, dude, that is like totally not cool. 6 hours a day just driving? Yeah, it sucks, he says. Trying to look at the glass half full, I tell him, still, it'll be killer money. That puts you at what, like 70 hours this week? Jeez. Make sure you put in for your gas and tolls quick though. The last time that I had to get reimbursed for expenses, it took him over a month. I could see what little light Dave's eyes held fade, and he said, they're not paying for any of that. Hearing that, I put in a call to my boss, who was as puzzled as I was. If he'd worked for our division, he'd be paid for his drive time and expenses at least, and we were both pretty sure it was corporate edict and not something individual divisions could choose not to obey. Unfortunately, neither I nor my boss had any say in the matter, and neither of us was familiar with Illinois or Indiana labor law, so all we could do is advise Dave to save his receipts for the IRS and complain to HR. On Monday, Dave was late again. After an hour, I was worried and called his cell phone. He replied saying, I just passed Portage, making pretty good time all things considered. I should be there in about 2 hours. Dave sounded perfectly happy about it, so I figured he'd been required to stop into his office before heading out for some reason. Okay, Dave, I'll see you then. When Dave arrived a little after 11, the first thing he did was take a 15-minute break. Long drive, I understood. There was still most of the day ahead of us, and after the break, Dave finally got down to business booting up his computer. He had barely logged in when he stood up and announced he was taking his lunch. Okay, something was going on, but I hadn't the foggiest idea what it could be. After lunch, they finally got around to some work, putting in a good 20 minutes reading emails before stopping by to see me and saying, I'm gonna take my second 15 now, and then I'm heading home. What? Then Dave, grinning like a nut, says, don't worry, I spoke to HR over the weekend. I didn't see Dave on Tuesday. His cell phone was going unanswered, and neither my boss nor I had any luck finding out why. We didn't try hard, not our zoo and not our monkey after all. Ditto for Wednesday, but whatever, he's probably just sick. And then on Thursday, I see Dave, before work, at the hotel breakfast buffet. I tell him, Dave, I was getting worried when you were a no-show the last 2 days. Dave laughed a little, and after we'd piled our plates with bad scrambled eggs and burnt sausage, he told me a story. On Monday, the client noticed him coming in late, doing no work and leaving early, and called our company to complain. Dave, in turn, was called into a disciplinary meeting with his boss and local HR, who were prepared to terminate him over putting in 32 hours of unearned overtime the previous week and not working at all the day before. Dave said they were serious too. One of the guys from building security interrupted the meeting to deliver a box containing the personal effects from his desk. Dave had an ace though, well, 3 aces. An email from his boss instructing him to drive to Fort Wayne every day at his own expense as a change in work location, 1. An email from corporate HR telling him that while he wasn't required to work overtime, he was required to report any overtime worked, including driving to and from a client, 2. And a page from his division's employee manual, 3, which covered paid breaks off-site. He then informed him that he was not working any more overtime, and after 3 hours driving in, 1.5 hours of breaks, and 3 hours driving home, it left him with just half an hour a day to do actual work. Less, actually, if the traffic was bad. Oh, and that corporate HR was willing to stand behind him on it. He'd just spoken to them before the meeting. Dave finished his story with, it took them about 3 seconds to realize they were screwed, and well, here I am, back in action, and since everything was booked last minute, I'm in a suite with a jacuzzi and my rental is a damn Cadillac. Ah, beautiful OP, thank you so much, Dave. Chef's kiss to your malicious compliance, you rock. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.